Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening to my examiner, which is Professor Madya Dr. Muhammad Nazir bin Saleh, and also Professor Dr. Hazandi Abdul Hamid. My name is Muhammad Abdullah bin Azhar, and today I'm going to present about my final year project, which is titled as Assessing Soil Properties and Good Performance of Eucalyptus Hybrid, Eucalyptus europhylla and Eucalyptus grandis 1 year after planting in University of Malaysia. And my supervisor is Professor Dr. Irfan Abdul. Okay, so this is the presentation outline for my slide. Okay, so for the introduction, according to a report from Australian Bureau of Agriculture and Resource Economic and Science 2016, eucalyptus is a species that evolved from rainforest ancestor in order to adapt in environment which taught nutrient pulsars and fire rings. The history of eucalyptus plantation in Malaysia started in early 1893. The early planting of Eucalyptus robusta were established with seedlings grown from seed from Queensland. Rizala et al. Stated that the early introduction of eucalyptus by the Forestry Department was in 1937 when the Eucalyptus degusta seed was obtained from New Guinea. Soil aggregate stability and microporosity, which increase water retention and soil properties such as bulk density, mechanical resistance, and water, and also gas flow parameters affect the soil physical quality of working sites. So this is the problem statement. The increasing demand of timber trees from natural forests become limited. Therefore, an alternative of fast-growing species such as Eucalyptus hybrid to combat the shortage of wood from natural forests is prime importance. Forest Department for Insular Malaysia and Malaysia Timber Organization Board have introduced new potential fast-growing species. There are 9 species. The species are Kaya alvarensis, Hevia brasilensis, Azadicata excelsa, Neolamakia cadamba, Paraserentis falcataria, Tectonagandis, Acacia aspigni, Octomalis subatrana, and also the bamboo. Although the eucalyptus species has not yet been recognized as plantation species, however, the information pertaining soil properties and good performance of eucalyptus hybrid in Malaysia are still scarce and limited. Thus, in general, this research aims to determine the soil properties in relation to soil fertility and good performance of eucalyptus hybrid in order to provide fundamental information for future forest plantation management and list as plantation species in Malaysia. So the objective of my study is to assess the soil properties, physical and chemical, under eucalyptus hybrid plantation as compared to adjacent plantation site as fundamental information, and also to evaluate the good performance, which is 2 meter at breast height, and the total height of eucalyptus hybrid 1 year after planting. Okay, so this is the literature view. Assis 2000 claimed that hybrid produce more outstanding trees compared to pure species. Early growth is very rapid and survival is high. Count are light and hence this species does not cast a very dense shade, resulting in a fairly thick undergrowth. This is said by Frizella et al. 1966. And also, Food and Agriculture Organization stated that early tree growth is rapid and as crown are light, a thick understory developed. Eucalyptus do not adversely affect soil condition. And also, Dye 2000 state that seasonal or long period of drought can significantly reduce the productivity of eucalyptus plantation and may result in stem mortality. And also, for the users of eucalyptus wood, eucalyptus are particularly suited to such biomass production as they exhibit relatively high wood density, have suitable chemical characteristics, exhibit low moisture content, and can be easily harvested all year around using conventional machinery if single stem growth form is maintained. FAO 1979 states that several countries stress out the fact that eucalyptus are first introduced into their countries to supplement the fuel supplies, and also Australian Bureau of Agriculture and Resource Economic and Science (ABARES) 2016 mentioned that indigenous Australians have traditionally used nearly all parts of eucalyptus tree. So this is for the material and method. So this is the study site of the research site located at University of Malaysia itself. The total area of plantation site is 0.165 hectare with a total of 297 trees in University of Malaysia. The eucalyptus seeds are obtained from Guangxi Forestry Research Institute, China. So this is the map of the plantation area. Okay, so for the data collection, soil sampling, and also soil analysis. So the establishment of subplots 10 times 10 meter of stratified random sampling will be chosen because the data taken from a field that has been divided into several subplots to increase the precision for the field. The soil sample will be collected at two depths, 0 to 10 cm for topsoil and 20 to 30 cm for subsoil. The soil will be airtight prior sieving as physical-chemical analysis. The soil physical properties, such as soil texture, will be determined using standard soil analysis, and also the soil chemical properties, such as pH, cation, exchange capacity, total carbon, total nitrogen, and exchangeable bases such as Ca, Mg, K, and Na will be analyzed using standard soil analysis. Mg, K, and Na stand for magnesium, potassium, and also natrium, and also calcium. This is how I choose the plot. The tree will planted with 2.5 meter times 2 meter. So a subplot will have about 30 trees. So the sampling technique that we use is cluster sampling. So after I done the cluster sampling, the chosen plot is plot A, D, E, H, and also I. So for the data collection, growth performance. So for the total height of the seedling and trees will be measured by using pole height 1 year after plantation, and also for the diameter at the base height, DBH. The diameter at base height will be collected using calculator 1 year after plantation. So this is the data analysis. So the soil sample are airtight, perceiving, and physical-chemical analysis, and these are done to analyze the soil properties to compare with the adjacent plantation site. The growth parameter. So a kind of growth parameter, which is diameter and height for a period after planting, will be established. The growth parameter will be used to determine the relationship of tree growth and the soil properties. So this is the result after I've done my study. So for the soil texture, most of the soil at the study plot have soil texture in sandy clay soil. The percentage of sand is the highest with 78%, followed by clay, which is 28%. So this is the table, the percentage. As we can see, the sand with 78%, as I said before. The silt, we got 4%, and also the clay, we got 80%. And this is the table for the soil physical-chemical properties. After I done the analysis, so I can determine, and I put it in the table here. So as you can see, in general, the chemical properties, which is the nutrient, at the study site are less than adjacent site in terms of surface soil and also subsurface soil. But according to some available nutrients are deficient if the soil pH is below 6.0. I can say that the soil pH was ranged from 4.70 to 6.74 for the topsoil and 4.93 to 6.31 for the subsoil. Well, the soil acidity indicates significant difference because the pH value of the study site is higher compared to adjacent sites, both surface and subsurface layers. And the cation exchange capacity in the study plot is moderate overall. The rate of nutrient in the soil depends on the rate of cation exchange capacity in the ground. So appropriate CEC level, cation exchange capacity level, make the nutrient in the soil is available for uptake or absorption by plant roots for processing appropriate growth. The cation exchange capacity in the study plot is basically moderate, and the rate of nutrient, as I say, in the soil depends on the rate of cation exchange capacity in the ground. CEC, in general, the cation exchange capacity for the surface soil at the depth of 0 to 10 cm is 5.24. For for the study site, while at the adjacent site, it records the reading of 4.97. Yeah. And also at the depth of 20 to 30 centimeter for the subsurface soil, it records 4.02 compared to 3.56 at the adjacent site. So for the good performance rate 1 year after plantation. So this is the good performance of the eucalyptus tree. We can see there are 5 plots. The height and size of the tree circumference are quite high on plot 5 compared to others. Okay, so for the tree height increment, the growth rate of the planted eucalyptus hybrid trees indicates good growth performance. The increment percentage of eucalyptus tree growth on average was 23.04% from September 2019 until December 2020. While for the increment percentage of eucalyptus tree growth in December to March is as much 49.60%. So this is the graph for the tree height increment. Okay, for the tree diameter increment, the average tree diameter showed a positive increase from September 2019 until March 2020. The average tree diameter rate in September 2019 was 6.24, while in September 2019 to December 2019, the average tree diameter is 7.63, and the average value of tree diameter in December to March is 11.41 centimeter. This is the graph for the growth rate of DBH for the tree diameter increment. So this is the mean comparison of growth rate of eucalyptus hybrid. So after I done the analysis, so this is all the mean, total mean for all the plot in plot 1, plot 2, plot 3, plot 4, plot 5. I take 3 readings from September 2019 for the first. After that, from 2019 until December 2019, I take another reading, the second reading, and after the second reading, I take once again on March 2020 before the MCO. So a survey of the growth rate of eucalyptus tree performed in September 2019, December 2019, and March 2020 showed encouraging growth for the height of the tree, which is 5.43 until to 7.27 and 6.56 to 8.81 and 9.82 to 13.1 meter high respectively. So a survey of the diameter rate of eucalyptus tree performed in September 2019, December 2019, and March 2020 recorded the diameter of the tree, which is 5.21 until 7.21, so 6.48 to 8.66, and 9.70 to 12.97 centimeter respectively. But we can say that it's quite early to prove this tree planting successful because the height and diameter of the breast height of the tree needs to be taken yearly to obtain an annual growth rate. So for the conclusion, the soil properties, physical and chemical, and the eucalyptus hybridization and adjacent site were distinguished. The soil under eucalyptus hybrid plantation contain less nutrient compared to the adjacent site. The eucalyptus tree have high nutrient recycling process that enables the tree to produce large amount of biomass in soil, enabling to maintain soil fertility. Fertilizer application can also help to increase the nutrient in the soil that is necessary for the eucalyptus growth. And also a preliminary study of the growth of eucalyptus hybrid trees on the degraded area shows that these species have a high potential for development because even though it's planted on the degraded area, but the growth rate are quite good. So for the recommendation, I recommend that more data should be taken and research should be done from time to time to get an overview of the potential of eucalyptus cultivation hybrid because, as I said before, this preliminary study is still early to determine the successful of this plantation. And also, my other recommendation, I also recommend that the research also maybe can be done on different soil series to determine the potential of eucalyptus plantation in Malaysia in general. So this is the reference, all the reference for my study. So that's all. Thank you.